Do you like volcanoes and interdimensional portals? Well, stay tuned. Welcome back to another edition of Drotalks audiobooks. Dro here, and today I'm going to be talking about Outland, written by Dennis E. Taylor and narrated by Ray Porter. Dennis E. Taylor is the author of the Bobaverse, one of my favorite sci-fi audiobook series, and is Outland just as good? Well, before we get into it, do me a favor, and if you like audiobooks as much as I do, hit that subscribe. That way you can stay in the know for new audiobook content. With that said, let's jump into Outland. So is Outland as good as the Bobaverse? No, it is not. The Bobaverse is just one of those masterpieces. Hopefully Dennis E. Taylor will be able to match it again. I've listened to the Singularity Trap, I believe that's what it's called, and this is I guess would be the fifth book from Dennis E. Taylor that I've listened to, Outland. And I would consider this one and the Singularity Trap about on par, but the Bobaverse was just a very superb story, and it was kind of my reintroduction to the sci-fi genre. So, you know, a little bit of a high bar there to compete. Does this mean this is a bad book? By no stretch of the mind. This is a fantastic audiobook. Ray Porter again brings superb narration as always, and the characters here are very lovable, but there are some negatives to this book as well, and the first one being the character. There are 6 main characters, and these characters, although they are very fantastic and I did enjoy them, they did not turn out the way I feel the book was setting them up to be, and which is kind of a good thing, but it's also kind of a bad thing, because I didn't really get attached to any character. Actually, the one character I got attached to the most was the character I least liked at the beginning of the book, and his name is Richard. He's the only name I'm going to mention because he's the only name I remember from that book. Each of these characters are in college, and they're studying, and they're basically experts in terms of college in their respective fields. So what do we have here? We got 4 guys. 2 of them are a physicist, one's a computer science major, and one's a superb engineer. And then we got 2 women. One is a zoologist and one is a geologist. So these are all students, so they haven't finished their degrees yet. But this whole story revolves around these 6 individuals and their university life. And there's really 2 elements for about half the book going through. One is the sporadic behavior of the Yellowstone National Park volcano, and the other one is the discovery of an interdimensional portal device developed by this 6 people. 2 of them were the ones that really developed this, but all these 6 individuals were as a core team in allowing this technology to be tested more properly, more thoroughly, and actually making this technology more reliable. And before we go any further, I do want to mention a slight spoiler. I think it's kind of intuitive just by the name of the book, and if you even read the excerpt, I think this is pretty much apparent. But just in case you don't want nothing spoiled, this is a good point to click off. You have been warned. You're still here? We're going to continue on. So there's an extinction level volcano eruption, and just as luck would have it, we have an interdimensional portal ready to save the university. Some of the university, because they were on summer. So you get humanity's last chance, last stand on a new planet. Now this new planet has never known humans, because in this planet, that same extinction event happened earlier for whatever reason. So there's no humans. So there's woolly mammoths, there's saber-toothed tigers, there's dire wolves, there's the whole 9 yards. This is a very untamed Earth, and all these apex predators have never known humanity. So to them, we're just prey. We're just food ready to be had. But luckily, our ragtag team of scientists, Richard and his group of 5, came very prepared to the game, because the story needs it to be that way, and they're able to hold off some of these apex predators And that's really the gist of this story. It's humanity moving into this new world, trying to tame what is never meant to be tamed. So, this book is actually very intriguing. The story is not unique. I mean, we've seen this in several TV shows before. We've seen this in other audiobooks. I mean, 14 comes to mind with Peter Klein, which is a little different, but similar. Strike that, it's not 14. What was the name of that book from Peter Klein? It's book 2 on the Threshold series. The Fold, that's what it's called. I knew it would come back to me. So we've seen this on before. This is not a new take by any means, by any stretch of the mind. The science in here is pretty cool. Obviously it don't exist, so there's a lot of assumptions being made, a lot of hand waving going on. But it is a unique ride, and the narration is good, and I did like the way the story turned out. I liked the arts that were made, and I am looking forward to future stories in this world that has been created. So, have you listened to Outland? If so, what did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. And what is your favorite interdimensional portal type story? Also, comment below, let me know. Because I really do like these type of tales. I was a big fan of Sliders TV show. I don't know if any of you all remember that. Fantastic show. So any of these interdimensional multiple Earth type scenarios, for me, it's good to go. So as always, this has been Drotalks. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe. Ring that bell to get notified. And we'll see you next time.